Today, I was doing a lot of thinking, and I got into this headspace that I guess I'll call creator mode. Um, I started seeing the world completely different. My whole perspective started to shift, started to change while I was driving around in the car today. The way I started looking at things, the way started thinking, I just started realizing when I looked around me, my apartment, my car, the country I live in, the life I'm living. I realized that all of it is creation. Like somebody thought about this. Somebody thought about that invention before it happened. Everything we touch, everything we use, everything we experience, it all started as a thought once upon a time. Even the ideas that we put into the world, that's creation too. And it's got me thinking a lot. Maybe that's why we're all here, to create, to build, to take, what's in our head and bring it into reality. And when you think about working a job, right? Like when you sign up to become an employee, you're basically becoming a mini creator yourself. You're helping build somebody else's vision, though. You're using your energy, your time, your creativity to bring an idea to life. But I think at the same time, there's a hidden message in every single job. Every single role teaches you something that you can take back and use for your own creations. Now, I find if you pay attention, you can always learn something about yourself, your discipline, your mindset, your patience, just by showing up differently. And what I mean by this is when I started my new job, I started to notice, when I walked in pretending like I owned the place, not in an arrogant way, but just mentally, like I put into my mind that I own, that was my business. Instantly everything changed. Everything changed. The way I worked, the way I treated people, the way I handled the products was different. Even my energy felt different. And by the end of the day, my manager actually did come up to me and was like, "Yo, I like what I'm seeing from you. Keep it up." And I feel like that was a moment that hit me because it showed me how powerful your mindset really is. Because if I went in there and I was thinking like, man, I'm just an employee, I don't matter, I feel like my whole day would have gone completely different. And it got me thinking, that our thoughts literally shape the way we experience our reality. And we can use it as a tool. And also I also started to realize that our thoughts, in my opinion, are really the only true freedom that we have. Everything else in life can be controlled, influenced, or restricted. But your thoughts, like that's your entire world. That's your canvas. But the tricky part is how we express them, because I find that is what's becoming restricted nowadays. And what scares me is that when you start feeling boxed in all the time, that's when stress and anxiety tend to show up. And that's what makes me nervous, because thoughts aren't supposed to be trapped. They're supposed to move through things like art, conversation, music, building something real. But at the same time, thoughts can be stolen, they can be twisted, they can be used to manipulate us. And I think that's why we need to become aware of them, protecting your mind. I find that that's everything, especially in, today's world. But the thing is even feelings can shift your thoughts. Like I started thinking when I listen to music, right? It tends to change how I feel and then how I think, right? A song kind of makes you get into this like dream state, right? And make you kind of go through this spiral. And it's the same thing with music. I think music can be used as a tool as well. It can lift you can lift your spirits up, or it can definitely pull you down. And I think it just depends on, what you feed your mind. And we have to be careful with what we're feeding our minds, in my opinion. There's social media. And to me, what I'm starting to realize with social media is that it's literally like an entire world of human thoughts, like just on display. You're thinking before you post. You're thinking before you record. You think about how you want people to see you before you hit upload. It's all thought. It's all creation. It all stems from thought. Everything you see online is just literally, it's somebody's inner world just being expressed, in a format of like art or whatever. So, yeah, man. It was just a crazy realization that I had today in the car, and I had to write it down and share it. But I just think that's wild. Just starting to realize how, everything in life starts as a thought. Like when you just think about, where's this coming from? Where's that coming from? And then where's that coming? It's like it all just stems as a thought. Like even if now that I got my perspective into that perspective shift, I'm like, whenever I see somebody talking, like that's all I can see now is like, okay, this is a thought, like into like a mind, and then coming out into a mouth. Like that's the way I'm looking at it right now, and it trips me out. But it's wild, man. Every invention, every business, every building, even our goals, our dreams, they all start right in the head. But maybe that's why we're here. Maybe that's why we're here, to think, to imagine, to create. But I think, it is important that we stay aware of what's going on in our mind, protect our thoughts, and, feed them with good things, because what you think about literally becomes what you build. So, I don't know. Just a thought, guys. A thought. Get it? But let me know what you're thinking. I keep saying it now. In the comments below. Curious to hear what you have to say. But till next time, peace.